Welcome to the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint. And I'm your host, Lolita Guarin. And today is episode 192nd. And we are talking about that it can get very stressful and it can add to your burnout. Being independent, like fiercely independent. Are you like kind of that person who always says, no, it's okay, I'll do it. Or, well, if I will not do it, then who else will? Or I'd rather do it myself. You know, when I used to go a lot to networking events in person before the pandemic, now it's a lot of networking events are online. I would get approached by quite a few people in those networking events where they will be solopreneurs that wearing all the hats, as it's called, because they are doing it all. And I will ask them like, okay, well, but do you think you can just, you all burn out and stressed out for sure, but how about if you will delegate some things to some people? And those would be also people not necessarily who, they're just starting out, they don't have money to outsource it, but those would be people who were for years already in controlling their business so much that it's kind of very hard for them to let go. And they were so independent like that because, well, yes, because they kind of grew up in the environment where to be that independent was that's the way of life. So ask yourself now, are you that kind of independent person that don't want anybody helping? You rather do it yourself, and you're one of those people who are wearing multiple hats? Or do you think that other people cannot do it? You're the one who knows how to do that, or you don't even have enough time to explain somebody else how to do it the right way? Mm-hmm. If you do not take yourself any time, like you're just continuously working, 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 definitely you will suffer a burnout and you will stress out and all of that, and then you can tell it in your body later on. You will get sick. I mean, at least that's what I read and hear from the experts, because body keeps the score. And if you all burn out and you're already listening to this video up to this moment, you're like, yeah, that's me, totally. Do not be too hard on yourself. The change starts from the point when you know what you really need to do, because there is an issue with that. If you think everything is fine, that's kind of hard to change something that you don't know needs to change, right? But if you already know that yes, you are that kind of person that you're always doing everything yourself, then also could be something that you can say, I would love to give this to someone else, but there's nobody else for me there to help. And I already tried multiple times, but they just don't do it right. I think is an excuse. Mhm. When I interviewed over close to 200 us very successful and not that successful, but still having business entrepreneurs, the most successful people and those who were making the most profit and the happiest and less stressed out were the ones who actually, yes, you guessed it, delegated things and they outsourced things and they were doing the things that they wanted to do. That has to do something the way you learn things. So it could be multiple, ways why you think that position for you to be very independent and doing everything really serves you. Number one, probably you grew up in an environment where everybody would kind of like for themselves. And you learn that if you will not do it, nobody else will do it for you. You're like, you have to do it. Like, for example, I'm only child. I mean, I had no siblings. I had to do everything in the house, right? Like they say, oh, you're only one child. You're so spoiled. Mommy was doing everything for you. No, I had to do everything by myself. Yes, the whole thing. At least when you have siblings, you can share the chores. No, it was only me. So, it depends. But also, if you grew up in a place where there was a lot of trust issues and you, maybe there was somebody in the family that were not emotionally available for you, even physically, maybe, they were not there and you grew up with a single parent or somebody with addiction problems, you learn from very early age to be an adult and you are adulting yourself. There was maybe not much parenting as the way it should be done. So you already grew up into this adult of like, you did, like you don't even know what the childhood means because you're supposed to take care of everything. And on top of that, could be if you had an addict in the family, it could also be that you will have to take care of them as well. So you're like, you totally were by yourself because you had to take care of everybody and yourself in addition to. So naturally, when you're an adult, you're like, no, if I'm not going to do it, nobody else will do it. I mean, what are you talking about? So obviously, it can get very lonely with that because it looks like you're just continuously doing it. And also, I've seen it with quite a few of my clients when they just doing everything by themselves. Even if some family member tries or team member tries to help them with some work, they may be very, very resistant and say, No, no, don't do that." Like, for example, cooking in the household, right? It's like, hey, let me help you, to cook dinner. And it's like, no, this is not good. This and I don't like the salad. I don't like the pasta. I don't like nothing works. So if you're in that kind of situation and you think like, yeah, I could relate. I it looks like I'm doing it. Have a conversation with your team and say, I need more help. Who wants to do this? Everybody has shorts. Let's do this. Outsourcing, hiring somebody to help us, and then really delegating the right way. I have the whole episode about delegating, how to do it. Um, but if you feel uneasy, that's very understandable because you don't want to let go of control. Because when you are feeling in control, then you feel safe. So start doing small things, delegate few things here and there, ask for friends that maybe they can help you with something. Start delegating few things for your team and your household, something that even if they do it the wrong way, it will be not the end of the world. Like, well, damage will not be that bad. If they overcook the pasta, I mean, nobody will die from overcooked pasta, I'm sure. Um, and so then start little small ways, and you can see that you will start trusting other people. And that is how you can allow other people inside of your little close-up world. Because I can probably assume you're feeling kind of lonely, like you're doing everything by yourself and nobody's really helping you. And then pay attention also when you giving feedback about something, somebody who already did it, always ask yourself, is this good enough? If this is good enough, that's fine. Over time, they will learn, or teach them the right way to do it. And then, let them be in training instead of saying, no, you already did it once and I'm not going to do this again. Because you again putting yourself back to the situation where it was before. And that was not really helping you. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you can relate and if you were in a very similar situation, I would like to hear what was your experience and through all of that process. And if you have any tips on delegating or with the changing the mindset that has to do with being independent, I would love you to leave a comment below because I say we always learn from each other. And if you need help with coaching, helping you to identify and get clear on those habits that are not working really in your life, and you want to change it, I'm here for you. So you're welcome to go to my website, beamazingyou.com. Yes, it is all in the description below, and book that session. And tomorrow we'll be talking more about what can be stressful. And I'm really appreciating you to being here. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Because as you know, then YouTube gives that video to somebody else to listen to, and I hope they can find strength and courage to start the healing so we can be healthier and better selves.